Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, and I'm back out here in the garden. I'm kind of double checking my microphone. It keeps turning itself off, so I'm like, I probably should have charged it, but we are going to go with it. Last time it didn't have any audio at all. So, anyways, I got something yesterday. I think I told y'all what I was going to get. I got 3 of these 75 footers soaker hoses. So hopefully that will be the end of my garden watering problems. So what I want to do is go ahead and I'm going to start at the top of my garden since my faucet is at the front of my garden here. And we're going to work our way back. Now, whether this is going to be enough to cover the whole garden or not, that is another story. And they all connect to each other. So we're going to start with this capped end. And then we are just going to hook them together on the female end. So come along and let's do some gardening. I want to make sure this is still on. Yes, it is. All right, let's go do some gardening. All right, my green light is still on. I probably should have some kind of prongs to hold these down, but I do not. So I'm just going to start. I've got some sunflower zinnias and peppers over here. And I'm just going to start wrapping these like an S pattern around the plants. I think it needs to be warmed up from the sun to get some of the funkiness out of these. Yeah. So right now, I'm just going to kind of loosely wrap them around. I might figure out what to pin them down with. I don't have any little like prongy things. I'll think of something. And then I'm just going to continue weaving these throughout my beds. I'm anxious just to turn them on and see how they work. So I'm going to continue this, and then when we turn them on, I'll be back. Well, as I suspected so far, until the coils get worked out of my soaker hoses, I do not have enough, but so far it's taken a while to work its way through. I think 3 hoses might be a little much. We'll see. But even if it works for one bed, I don't know. It's just kind of difficult, but let me show you what it looks like. I'm not really sure, sorry for the close up, that you can see it, but it's going through, because the goal is to wind it in like an S pattern through all of my plants. And so it might go a little farther. I don't know. They're still coiled up pretty tight. This is the end of the third one right here. It would work better if I had some little metal clamps that I could kind of gently clamp it down to the soil to hold it down. I didn't even think about that. And of course, I live like 45 minutes away. So, anyways, that's going to be a continued saga there. I'll think of something I can use. Maybe I can find some baling wire and just kind of make it come down. I don't have any big stakes or anything, but I could try to figure it out. I'll figure it out. But it did go across. Let me show you. The sun's right in the way though. Oh, let's turn it around. Maybe it'll be better this way. Sorry. Sun's coming up over there and it's super bright. Okay, so it did manage to go across the top of the bed. The next bed goes all the way across. Then it goes all the way across this bed right here that we're in right now. So then I still have where my beets are on the opposite side of this V, where you can see my calendula flowers, and then my cruciferous bed over there, and eventually the dirt bed that is the going to be the pumpkin bed, but I do not see any water action on the other. So I'm just going to show you now. This is a close-up of the drip system. Here is a bell pepper that's coming along nicely. And then I have some pepperoncinis, more pepperoncinis. Marconis are not quite blooming yet. I do have some blooms on my Oregon Spring. I've got blooms on my tomatillos. And I want to show you something else. Okay, the water is starting to come out. It's working its way up the second hose to the east end, the top of the garden. That's where we started with the hose. But my faucet is at the bottom of the garden. And it does say to have your water source at the top of the garden. So I can't help that. So this might not. Look at this cucumber though. I'm going to let it go a little bit longer. This is the ideal cucumber. My little moonbeam tomatoes have little blooms on them. So I need to put a little cage or something around them. I don't want them to get top heavy. Green zucchini has got a nice big bloom on it. This is the one I had to cut all these bug-eaten leaves off of. And my little teddy bear sunflowers are wanting to bloom, so they honestly don't really get that big. I'm pretty excited about it, so I put them in the perfect spot. Just had to show you my yarrow. Look at this. It's so pretty. I'm gonna have to trim up this giant marigold. It's not real happy right there. My celery that I planted this year is looking lovely. This celery, excuse me, is going to seed. And my dill is blossoming out. Look at the size of this head. These are the mammoth dill. This is what I've been planting the last couple years, and they do really well. I'm going to have to come out and trim up the fronds again. I've got my other ones drying still. And how about that chamomile? Woohoo! It's getting ready to go. Holy basil's grown quite a bit. So after I get everything watered today, I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and use my worm juice. All right, these Oregon Spring on my bee trellis over here are looking fantastic. They're blooming. This one is, however. Oh, look. I talk to you guys like you're right here with me. I don't know if you can see. There it is because of the sun. Look at all the blooms there. Those are right behind the bell pepper I showed you. These dill that had kind of a slow start are really taking off. My stinging nettle is looking really well. And look at this basil. It's going to seed. We're going to pop that off of there. I swear the plants get up so high, then the, excuse me, the bugs actually start leaving them alone. I've never had a problem with my basil. I'm going to pinch that off, or we'll dry that. I think I'll snip this one too. That helps keep them going from seed to seed. My purple cone flowers are looking good right in here. I planted those. They didn't seem to really suffer the shock too much. My cucamelons are still trying to go. The flowers on this dill. This dill is like probably 3.5, 4 feet tall. And then look at the borage, which I thought was dead. It's getting ready to bloom. Then my calendula, that's about when you want to pop these heads off of here. Try to do it down at the Y. Those ones aren't quite ready. My very first zinnia. Look at that beauty. The dang bugs just keep eating them all, but that one managed to survive. Look at all the blooms on my cayenne pepper. Those things grow phenomenal here. I don't know why, but they do, and I'm glad. I do have a little Anaheim, my first Anaheim. This is an ancho pepper getting ready to bloom. This is a giant zinnia back in the northeast corner that the bugs did not devour, and that little guy's getting ready to bloom. We got sunflowers, ooh, with some ants on them. I did buy some arrow ant traps, as Jessica Sowers recommended. Now look at these guys. Have to get real close. There we go. They're getting ready to bloom. These are, oh, my pumpkin jalapenos. Got blooms. It's so cool this morning. It's crazy. And then these are just the overflow strawberries. My spaghetti squash that I planted from seed out here is hanging in there. So the hose at the top of the bed where I started is not getting wet yet, but I'm going to let it run and see if it gets there. All right, folks, look at this. Talk about a will to survive. This is the borage that I broke. It fell over when it was in the cup. I propped it up with these sticks. Look at the green leaves on that. My purple sage is going to seed. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And my thyme, it's flowering. It's gorgeous. You know, something that speaking of which, I was going to film my lavender that I harvested out in the front by the barrels. That's one of the few things, lavender and rosemary, that the deer don't eat. Now I'm back over here at the V trellis, and I can't remember what I had planted over here. If it was, I don't know, some kind of tomato. And look at this. There's two little baby volunteers, and I'm just going to leave them there. They look really good. Okay, I'm going to do, excuse me, a little bit of harvesting. I'm going to do my dill fronds and see how that goes, and I'll be right back. All right, this is my harvest. Dill, calendula, basil, and I got some little broccoli. Oops, I dropped my stuff. Little broccoli florets, just enough to throw into a soup or stir fry or salad or what have you. So that's all I have for you today. Just an update on the hose. It's starting to work up that last hose. I think maybe the more I use it, the better it will get, and then the more pliable it will get, and then I'll have to figure out some kind of solution to put little prongs until I get to town again next time. But anyways, I hope the sun is shining where you are. I hope it's nice and cool. It's beautiful here. It was like 52 or 54 when I woke up, which I'm like, wow, it's been in the 60s, low 60s, but still. And then it gets pretty warm in the afternoon. So I'm going to hop on my mower and get this field right up here done. That's the last one. I've had to cut it up into 3 days this time. I don't like to mow after 10 because of the fire danger. So, or if there's a breeze or anything, which there is a slight breeze today. So if it doesn't knock that off, I'm not going to be able to mow. But anywho, have a great day. Thank you so much as always for watching. God bless all of you. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, and sharing my channel. Until then, happy gardening. Bye-bye.